All right. Looks like I finally got myself to a position that I can get some other things done. Here, let's see. Oh, it's all right. It looks like it's a little off level, but that's okay. I've had so much going on today that it's only 2 o'clock and I am wore right out. So I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to hurry up and get this soil made here. And, this is my homemade potting soil. I started this last night, and this was the speedy process because I need some right away. I've got some clones that need to be put into dirt or soil as quickly as possible. So I actually started this process last night. I went over and got a bunch of stuff out of the woods and stuff that you will see in other videos or have seen in other videos that I've made. Anyway, this right here is the stuff that that comes from underneath the living peat moss out in the woods. This is years and years of just degraded material, composted over years for a very long time in a rock. But anyway, there's no dirt in any of what you're about to see me mix into my potting soil. It's all organic materials that have been roasted. I roasted these, let me tell you, starting last night at 300 degrees for about 2 hours. This was very wet stuff there. For about 2 hours at 300 degrees, and then turn the heat down and leave it going for the rest of the night at 150, 200 degrees. Okay, I think I had set it at 200 and left it go the rest of the night. Nice and crispy today, ready to, it's very well pasteurized, cleaned, sterilized. I know there's nothing living in there, no seeds or larvae or fungus of any kind. And my helper over here, he wants to see what I'm doing. He wants to make sure I'm doing it right. I'm going to go ahead and start putting this in here because I've got some work to do with this before it's actually ready to be used as a potting soil. Like I say, this is the material, the composted material, years and years of material that's been composted underneath what was the living peat moss that was on top. Now this was baking at the same time that was, okay, the same way and at the same time, and it's all extremely dehydrated now. Now I'll tell you, I've got problems with my lungs, so I can't, I shouldn't actually, I should not be working with fine particulates floating around in the air too much without some kind of protection, because I do have lung problems. So I'm going to go ahead and put my mask on. Little guy here, he doesn't have a problem with that. He's got a different filtration system. Anyway, what I need to do now, the reason I'm wearing a mask is because this is going to create quite a bit of dust here. I've got to crunch and munch. That's pretty much the story for now. Oh, this stuff is very well cooked, very dried out. Oh yeah, look at this, the little sticks just snap just like that very easily. This is good composted material for many years, and it's makes excellent soil. Now I've only made, like I said, I have an emergency need for some right now, and I'm completely out of soil, so I only need right now immediately to make enough to pacify the needs. Right now I've got 2 plants in there right now in the cloner that need to be planted because they are rooted and growing. Now I could leave them in there. See, there's some rock that come off the top of that rock where I got my moss from, moss and compost. But anyway, so I've got those two plants that are ready to be planted, and as we go through the week, there's going to be more coming ready too. Like there's two more that are probably ready to plant right now, but I'll wait another day or two just to make sure. I want everything well rooted and growing before I yank them out of my cloning machine and put them into pots. And I will be moving them into moss pots right off. See, I don't have to, but I take the stones out of there. You know, no matter how you do it, when you gather this stuff, you're going to end up with some non-organic material. But see, larger stones and stuff like that, these aren't bad. You can leave them in there and it doesn't hurt anything. And as you can see, there is no dirt here. This is all purely organic material. Very well composted, and now it has been pasteurized and crushed so that it's in a more usable state as soil. Okay, and now this stuff here is good, very good in fact, but it's not quite enough. Not quite enough. You see, I don't know if you can see, I'm going to turn this light on, but if you could see all the dust that's flying around here. When I get done with all of this, I'm most definitely going to have to do some vacuuming and dusting. Now I'm going to put all of this in here. Now remember, this has been baked all overnight for an hour and a half or 2 hours at 300 degrees, and then the rest of the night at 150, 200 degrees. So it's very, very, very crispified baked. All right, pasteurized, sterilized, clean, dried out, ready to crush, munch, and mix right into the rest of the stuff that I've already crunched and munched. And you see it crunches pretty easy. It's already crunched down quite a bit, you know. Doesn't take much at all. But now I've got to, I'm going to stand up here and give it good crunching. I want it as finely crunched up as I can get it by hand. It doesn't have to be super, super fine, but you know, it's soil, so you want it to be able to compact pretty well and be a good solid rooting material. Yeah, looking good. Starting to get some good soil here now. Now, the only two things that I add to this that doesn't come out of the North Maine woods is vermiculite and perlite. I get those at my local florist. They're not an absolute necessity, but I gotta tell you, sure does add to the quality of your soil. Sure does. I'm almost finished with this now. Yeah. I really, 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 really wish that I had a good vegetative compost bin set up somewhere that I could add some compost into this. But that's okay. This will be all right. Now, from what I had to what I have is a finished product. Almost finished. I've got to add some perlite and vermiculite. But look at here, I'll turn this light on. A little extra light in the situation. And now you can see what we've got here. This is my homemade soil. Okay, so far I've just got to add vermiculite and perlite to that, and I've got a good soil for growing in right there. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get the vermiculite and perlite and add them. Let's get this put back over here. I'll be right back with the vermiculite and perlite. That was fast, huh? Didn't have them too far away. Perlite. Okay, this is all natural, safe way to improve your soil. Okay. And like I say, I personally like to wear a mask when I'm dealing with this kind of stuff, especially the perlite. Vermiculite is not too bad, but all right. So I've got maybe 2 quarts. Yeah, about 2 quarts of soil there. So for each quart, I want a good handful of perlite, and just to be safe, I'll put 1 more. Okay, good perlite in there. And however much perlite you put in, you should always, or I always, try to equal that amount with the vermiculite. Now this one doesn't powder and fly all in the air like the vermiculite does. Not quite as bad anyway. So there's 1 handful. There's 2 and 3. So I've got equal portions vermiculite and perlite in there. Let me go ahead and seal these bags up there. I like to take the air out of them and seal them. There you go. Now, mix this all together here. Hey, starting to look like a good soil now. Now you, I know you have seen for yourself store-bought potting soils and things of that nature. Now I want you to keep in mind what you have seen in the store and take a look at this. Homemade stuff comes from North Maine Woods. There it is. Now there's a good soil. Extremely dry at this point. You know, you have to understand it's been baked and processed and everything. I need to dampen it a little bit just before I go to use it, and I've got enough there to do, at least for now. I'm sure I've got enough for 2, possibly 3 1 quart moss pots, but we'll see. But that's a good soil, don't you think? That's a very good soil. And that is how you make your own potting soil from the North Maine Woods to you. Thank you very much.